and I
Okay.
use Fur Monster carboys, and they have this like bigger lid on them, right? And so
Uh-huh.
this is my version of like a DIY hop charge, right? So I bought these little funnels that are meant for like adding protein powder to like a water bottle.
Okay.
And they kind of fit perfectly to thread into one of these larger valves that you can just buy at like a Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. And so they're like a one-way valve, ball valve. You can see right through that thing there.
Yeah.
And so you can add, I think I fit up to like 4 ounces of hops, depending on how big the pellets are or something like that. But you don't want to like cram them in there, but you can do that. And then what I do is I have my airlock on here. And so I start out with this thing just completely closed, right? So I have the valve all the way closed, and I get the fermenter as it's starting to ferment, it ferments, and it's got the regular airlock activity on here. And um as the beer is making its way, I kind of crack this just a little bit, not to drop hops in there, but just enough to like break the seal of the airlock here. And then I kind of crack the lid up here, and now it's pushing
Move
CO2
CO2 up.
through the
Okay.
hops, so I'm not adding oxygen as I'm dry hopping. So I'll do that for like a day, and then I'll shut this again, and I'll screw this on tight again. Now
Mhm.
this is full of just CO2, and it's still
Right.
just purging out of here. And when I'm ready to dry hop, then you can just actually like open this whole thing up and drop in the
Drop
hops.
'em.
Now you sometimes it needs a little encouragement. You need to shake it a little bit because this hole isn't like super big, but it works in a pinch. And so really kind of a cool idea to kind of purge your hops of oxygen, and so
Yeah.
you're not adding oxidation after the fact. So you're not having to open up a bucket lid or something like that. You can kind of do this even on like a regular bucket lid too. You can kind of do the same thing. So I have got like a whole video on how to make stuff like that on my channel too. Pretty cool. I like to
That
just
is
play
really,
around.
really cool. No, that is
Uh,
really neat and genius.
so I was like, you see these ones that are, can connect to like these really fancy shiny ones. Well, we don't
Mhm.
need a fancy shiny one. We can make a plastic one like our buckets, right? So the other ones, the hop charge ones that are like glass, and they have
Uh-huh.
uh cam locks on them and stuff like that. Like they are um or tri clamps, I should say. They're like $300 for one of them
Yeah.
things, or more, a couple, at least a 150 for smaller ones. And yeah, they allow you to purge the thing, but it does almost the same thing as like this DIY version. Now you could even buy a bigger like one-way valve and stuff like that to make that hole bigger so it doesn't get, as easy
Right.
kind of clogged up with hops. But it's just a simple idea that I was like, I could probably make a DIY version of this. It can't be that
Mhm.
dang hard. The hardest thing was trying to get it so it still fit in my fermentation chamber behind me.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, the
So
height
I couldn't have it
restriction,
too
yeah.
tall. Yeah, I
Uh,
couldn't have it too tall. So that's kind of reason I went with this little funnel system versus something a little bit
mhm.
different. I was trying to use like a soda bottle at first and some other things, but I was like, okay, how do I get this to be shorter? So I started playing around. I just started looking at like funnels and things, and I came across this thing. I'm like, this is perfect. I think I can get that to work.
That's
And so
cool.
it holds pressure. It's great. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So that works out pretty good. I don't use it very often, admittedly, but it is one of the cooler things that I've done, just DIY.